Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. To us, OC stands for our community because we believe that our community is stronger and safer when we come together. Today on our show, we are going to talk about water safety. We have the inventor of the Airtime Watertime float suit, Mark, here on our show. And he brought two amazing guests. That's Peter and Kyle Stain, who are autism self-advocate. Julie kính chào quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV trong chương trình Kiến thức y khoa, gia đình và xã hội. Đó là chương trình OC Health and Education. Chương trình đây là chương trình song ngữ. Julie hy vọng tiếp tục nói chuyện về cái thông tin rất là quan trọng cho quý vị. Bữa nay on cái show của Julie mời được Mark O'Crusco. Mark O'Crusco là một inventor of the Airtime Watertime float suit. Đó là cái suit cho mấy em được sử dụng lúc mà bơi ở biển hay trong hồ của mình. Welcome everybody to the show today.
Thank you. I'm Kyle Stain. I'm really excited to be on TV today.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you. And who's right next to you?
Oh, that's my brother, Peter.
Peter, welcome to the show. Are you excited to be here?
Yeah, I'm excited to be here with the Airtime Watertime suit on, and I'm really excited to be famous and sign autographs.
Well, I am so excited to have you here. Now, Mark, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting us. This is quite an honor to be here.
You know, for me, water safety is so important, because one of the statistics that I read that was kind of scary because drowning is preventable. Every year in the U.S., there's about 3,500 to 4,000 drowning that occurs.
Oh, no.
And that's about 10 deaths a day. So I know your invention is so important to address those issues. Can you tell me about, how you became an inventor and why you did this?
Well, I'm from Santa Barbara, and I moved to Santa Barbara to surf. I was really interested in surfing. And at my local break, Rincon, which is an amazing place to surf, I surfed one day. It was 10, 15, 20 feet, and I got held down, and I got held on the bottom, and it was like you're held down and you can't come up, and you're wondering what to do. So I had some time to think about it. And I came up with the idea, wouldn't it be great to have a flotation suit so when you're stuck that you'll pop to the surface? And that's kind of how this thing got started.
Am I hearing that you thought about the invention while you were held down?
Yeah, well, I had a little bit of time, and I wasn't going anywhere, and I had to wait, yeah.
Well, Mark, I think that's such an amazing story because, out of all the things that we do in life, there's many things that inspires us. And I think what you're telling me is your passion inspires you. And even, something that's that scary, instead of instilling fear, you're actually giving hope and even, innovation and ideas with this. One of the things that you and Ruth shared with me is that this float suit is a fear buster. Can you tell me what that means?
Well, imagine going into the water and having no fear. There's a lot of people that once they're in the water, they're panicking. It's like it's not a comfortable place to be in. And so now the idea is that if you have a suit like this, you can go in the water and you could literally lie on your back and go to sleep. There's so much confidence and security in this that it's really an amazing tool.
Well, I love that. But I mean, always, we say, when we have the kids wearing these suits, parents shouldn't keep them unattended. They still should always be supervised, right?
Absolutely. This is not gonna. It's not 100% gonna save you from drowning or anything like that, but it gives you a fighting chance.
Right.
And I think that's really important, and for peace of mind.
Right.
I mean.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this today. Thưa quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV, hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Mark, với hai em đó là bé Kyle với Peter. Kyle và Peter hôm nay bằng cái áo, cái float suit, không phải là cái wet suit không, mà kêu bằng cái float suit. để cho cái gia đình và mẹ của em có nhiều cái an toàn lúc mà mẹ dẫn em đi Huntington Beach để cho đi boogie board, thấy là rất là vui. Julie mỗi đặt một cái câu là tại sao Mark lúc nào Mark được suy nghĩ về cái invention đây. Mark nói là Mark là một cái người surfer ở Santa Barbara mà hồi xưa là bị xuống dưới nước á, mà lên không được, là trong cái bực khó khăn đó Mark nghĩ là mình phải cần tạo ra cái suit để cho giúp mấy cái người surfer hay cái người nào vô nước hay đi đến biển có cái sự an toàn. Mark, I think that's really important that I want to share with the audience and reiterate what you said, that we want to give people who are going to the beach, who are going to the ocean, who's going to the pool, a sense of security. Today we have two of these boys wearing these suits. Now, tell me, how did you meet them and how did this friendship start?
Well, we met these we met their mother at the Abilities Expo, which is held in downtown Los Angeles, and so a lot of the Abilities people came there, and we had the pleasure of meeting Tina.
Okay.
And we had some great conversations, and she picked up a couple of suits, and now these guys are the advocates for what we're doing.
Oh, so guys, Mom got you guys these suits, right? Where do you guys use them? Do you just run around the house with them? Where do you wear them?
Well, it get way too hot if I was running around the house with them.
Oh, so when did you use them?
In the water, at the pool, and at the beach, and in the water.
Oh, now Peter, I've seen some pictures of you, and maybe they're going to show and share with the audience that you guys go to the ocean with these suits. What do you do at the ocean?
Well, I really like to run into the biggest waves I can find, since I know I won't be able to drown.
Oh, so you feel safe doing that?
Yeah.
But the biggest wave?
Well, I never see waves that big, so I always go into the biggest waves I can find.
Oh, and then where is Mommy and Daddy when you're playing in the waves? Are they holding your hand? Are they letting your hand go? What are they doing?
They're just sitting on the shore watching me.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. So Mark, I love what they are saying, that, they're using it in the pool, they're using it at the beach, and then the parents can sit on the shore still, in view, in sight, and watch them. And he tells me he dares to jump on these big waves.
Well, it's once you have the confidence, once you're not worried about it, and as a parent, where you know what the result will be, that they're going to be okay.
Right.
Then you can relax a little bit. And these guys have had a lot of fun in the water. They do a lot of crazy stuff. So.
Now, Kaya, what's the craziest thing that you've done? Well, in the water with the wetsuit.
Well, I probably do the same thing that Pierre does. Like I run on the shore and there's a really big wave, and then I just try to jump into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Now, do you ever get scared, Peter, when a big wave comes?
Well, I never get scared unless I'm trapped underwater for longer than usual, but I always come up.
Oh, now what, do you swim up or does the suit help you come up?
I just automatically go up.
Oh, really? Okay. Now, when we were talking, Mark, you told me this is not a wetsuit, Julie. It's a float suit. What's the difference between a wetsuit and a float suit?
Well, the difference is a wetsuit is meant to keep you warm, and so what we did is we had the flotation that we built into the suit, and the wetsuit has a tendency to hold everything in place, so it keeps it there. So we don't call it a wetsuit anymore. We call it a float suit because that's what it does.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mark and boys, for being on the show. After this commercial break, we get to meet your mom and Ruth, who also is part of the Airtime Watertime company. Julie, cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Sau phần quảng cáo, chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với Mark, với thêm nữa Ruth and Tina, đó là người mẹ của hai em đây. Julie muốn nhấn mạnh với quý vị là cái Water City rất là quan trọng, tại trong một năm là 3.500 tới 4.000 người bị chết đuối, đó là bị drown, and mỗi ngày bị mất 10 người trong drowning. Thì Julie thấy đó là trong mùa hè đây quý vị sẽ luôn luôn sẽ giữ cái an toàn cho gia đình. Với chừng nào quý vị thấy cái suit đây để có thể cho quý vị an toàn lúc mà mình dẫn con đi bơi hay đi ra biển, đó là cũng rất là quan trọng. Quý vị sẽ thấy. Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. On this segment, we're able to introduce you more of the Airtime Watertime team. In addition to Mark O'Krusco, we have Ruth Wishengrad and Tina Stang. Tina Stang is the mother of the 2 autism self-advocate to talk to you about the importance of water safety and how Airtime Watertime, the floater suit, has helped you. Well, Tina and Ruth, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Tina. I know we've been friends, and I get to see the boys at the beach and at the bonfire. But, you know, just to see those pictures of them in the wetsuit, having so much fun, and you not worrying. Now, what does that mean to you to have this wetsuit for your boys?
It just means freedom to just enjoy our time together. Before I found the floater, I was very anxious, very anxious when they were around water, even not in the water. If I took my eyes off of them, even though they know how to swim. I have 2 of them and Clarice, my daughter, so I was always very anxious. But after I found the floater, I just felt, you know, it gives us that additional measure of safety. I feel like we have a fighting chance. If something were to happen, we would have a little bit of time. And so it made our time together in the water and at the beach, at the pool, anything water related, it made it enjoyable again.
Oh, so instead of worrying about them and always trying to feel like you have to keep your eyes on them 24/7,
right,
you're able to kind of sometimes look away and not feel too concerned, right?
Right, like I can look away for a second or two. We always try to have my husband there and a caregiver, so we have one-on-one. But I've always felt like just looking away for a second, just blinking, something could happen. You know, it's very anxiety. Existence with multiple kids, especially kids with disabilities, that you feel like that second that you look away, something could happen. But
so, what disability do they have, if you don't mind sharing?
They have, they both have autism, and they both have ADHD, and so.
But how does their autism affect their ability to be? There's awareness of safety.
Right. They don't necessarily remember everything that you tell them, so they're not openly defined, but they may not necessarily remember. And when you say be careful, that's not very specific. It's very vague, and so their definition of careful could be really different.
Okay.
Right? And having several of them, 2 of them, they could egg each other on like boys do to do things. And so, yeah, just boys in general. You know?
Well, I mean, I think what I love about what you're saying is that you really embrace their disability, but you see it as an ability, and the ability to swim, ability to enjoy life, and ability to enjoy the ocean again. You know, and what I love hearing is that, you know, you as a parent and with your husband Doug, you guys still get to feel a sense of security. You know, in addition to having, you know, a caregiver there, you have a float suit, you have all of these things. So I know as a mom, you're so careful. And I love that you're so thorough and making sure that their safety is first and foremost, you know, a priority when you are enjoying the waters.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Tina, for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thưa quý vị, hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Tina Stang. Tina Stang cũng là một người mẹ, mà không phải là người mẹ cho 2 em mà bị tự kỷ không, mà thiệt ra một cái người mẹ rất là thương con, rất là chú ý về cái an toàn của gia đình. Tina cũng là một người Việt Nam, tại nhiều lúc người Việt Nam của mình thấy mình có con á, mình lo lắng quá, mỗi lần mình phải chú ý nó kỹ, mà thiệt ra cái float suit đây á, là của Airtime Watertime á, làm cho mẹ thấy an toàn hơn, không phải là 24/24 mình phải nhìn nó, theo dõi nó, mà thiệt ra mình đi biển hay mình đi đâu, mình đi vô hồ bơi, mình được cái sợ an toàn, mình được nghĩ chút. You know, Tina, I think, you know, when you are very open about your kid's diagnosis of autism, I think it really tells the audience it's okay to love your kids. It's okay to be a part of the community. It's okay to experience the world like any other person gets to experience it, right? But, you know, I think what Mark's invention and Ruth's help to outreach to the community is so important is because when you have a suit like this, it's not a business. It's almost like a calling, a mission, a purpose. So when I see you, Mark and Ruth, I just feel like, wow, these people have a purpose. And what do you think your purpose is? Because I see it.
Well, we're missionaries.
You're missionaries, okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting place to be. I mean, there is a business aspect to it, but it's become more of a calling because what we provide is a chance for somebody to experience something beyond the veil of fear. So if you're afraid of the water, you're not going to go in the water. But if you're no longer afraid, you're going to go in and you're going to explore. You're going to do the things that you've always wanted to do, but you know, always held yourself back. So we're fear busters. So we want to get rid of fear and go from point A to point B and enjoy doing every moment of it.
You know, there's a word that you said in your response. You said, we're giving them a chance. And that gave me goosebumps. Because, you know, I work in the disability space. And, you know, even just last night, I was over at, you know, one of the families' home at night and just helping them. And I said, sometimes we as parents, you know, yes, we love our kids, but sometimes we kind of live in this fear. And we don't give them a chance to be a child, a chance to, in a sense, be normal, and a chance to experience what thousands of people get to, millions of people get to experience. So I think, you know, in my work, when I'm working with a child with a disability or with families who are just afraid, I always say, no, give them a chance. Let them see what it feels like. Now, what does it feel like to you when you get to see these kids having a chance to experience the waves and to experience the water without the fear?
Well, it reminds me of when I was a kid. You know, I get to have my inner child come out, and I mean, I didn't have that suit when I was young, but I mean, it's kind of like the magic of the suit is like, imagine being an astronaut in space. I mean, there's a lot of people, we watch TV, we see the astronauts floating around.
Yes.
That's what this is all about. This suit gives you the ability to float in space. So if you're in the water and you close your eyes, you are on the space station, you are floating. So
yeah,
it's pretty magical.
You know, I do also, you know, I know you were able to share a few videos too. You know, I do want to share with the audience, and if the audience can watch the video. The video that we're showing right now is the float video.
Correct.
You know, can you tell me a little bit about this float video?
Well, the float video shows people in action, you know. I mean, we could talk about it all day long, you can describe it, but when you see somebody in the water and how they respond and how they flow, it's almost like a ballet, you know. They're on the surface, they're not going to go under, and they can do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm. Now, Tina, you said earlier, oh, it's, you know, I have so much anxiety when I see my kids. When we watch this video, we don't see that fear. We don't see the anxiety.
No.
You know, when I watched the video, I was like, wow, you just feel this like muscle relaxing, this little joy and this peace. You know, so I think that's very important. I really do appreciate you both, you know, sharing this video with the community, because we can talk about it all day.
Right.
But when you see someone putting on this suit, how comfortable it looks, and that it's not riding up to your neck, you know, because when I went to Hawaii, I was wearing, you know, the what is it, the floating
life jacket.
The life jacket,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying, oh yeah, wear this life jacket. You have to put this life jacket on, and you can snorkel. But it was always riding up to my neck, and I was always trying to pull it down. It was so uncomfortable, you know.
Right.
So when you invented this item, how important was it for you to address some of those issues?
Well, what I wanted in a suit like this is I wanted to have it like you weren't even wearing the suit. You know, if you put the suit on and you're in the water, the suit disappears, and now suddenly you're just floating.
Okay.
So you have total mobility, you get to move, you get to do all the stuff that you want to do, and you get to explore yourself. You know, I mean, you were talking about comfortability and the flotation. One of my fantasies is finding water that's warm enough and lie on my back and go to sleep. So what would your dreams be like if you could have that kind of capability?
Wow. Well, thank you so much for opening our eyes and sharing your invention with the world and to help ensure the safety. But after the commercial break, we'll get to talk more with Ruth and Tina about, what this suit means and how families can access it. Julie cảm ơn quý vị hôm nay đã theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội. Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Mark O'Crusco về cái suit đây. Mark nói đó là cái suit đây, cái float suit đây cho nhiều cái câu hỏi cho mấy em giống như bình thường lúc mà mình đi bơi hay mình ra biển mình không có cái sợ hãi nữa, đó là rất là quan trọng. Sau phần quảng cáo chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với Ruth, với Tina Stang, với Airtime Watertime. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. We're going to continue our conversation with Mark O'Crusco, Ruth Wishengrad, and Tina Stang. I'm so glad that you guys are all here today. I know Mark has been kind of hogging the stage. Ruth, you didn't ever get a chance to talk. So Mark, you're gonna have to be quiet for a little bit if you don't mind. But I want people to understand who you are, Ruth. And what is your role with Airtime Watertime?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. It's a pleasure to be here. I am the vice president, I guess you could say, of Airtime Watertime, and I do whatever is needed. That's pretty much it.
But Tina, what do you think she does? She's so humble.
She does a lot.
So when you ordered this suit, did you interact with her? How did that happen? And what is it? Why did you get the suit for your kids with autism?
Well, I met Ruth at the Ability Expo years ago, and I got it because it was something that I was looking for the longest time, because my kids, Peter and Kyle, they have autism. And with kids with autism, if you put them in a wetsuit, it's very uncomfortable. There's buckles, it rides up right here. They can unbuckle.
You mean a life jacket?
Yeah, life jacket.
Yes,
I'm sorry, a life jacket. They could totally unbuckle and get out of it. Really dangerous. And so I was looking for a product where it would give them that flotation, but it's not like they can get out of it. And also if they fell on their chest or they hit against something like the side of the pool, it wouldn't injure them because all the buckles and everything. And when I saw their product at the expo, I was like, wow, let me just get it right here. And I did. And I've been ordering them as they were getting older. And Ruth was just so gracious. Like she called just to check up and see if everything was fine. They were fitting fine, and so that's how we got to know each other.
Okay. Well, Mark, now you can talk. You're doing so well.
I don't know what to say.
Mark, I love your stories, and you calling it a calling and all of these things. And when you hear a parent talk about what a difference it made for their family, because a lot of times, when you invent a product, you might not think about these kids with autism, but when a parent like Tina, who meets you at an Ability Expo, she gets so much joy in finding a product like this. How does that make you feel as an owner, as an inventor, and as God's hands?
Well, it's like Christmas. So at Christmas time you have Christmas and you have presents, and Christmas comes and you open the presents. To us, is every time somebody orders a suit, it's like we're waiting to open that present of their experience. So their experience, they open the present. There's the suit. They try it out, and we know what the result is. We know what the reaction is because we've done this so many times.
But do a lot of families let you know about their story, their journey? Do they give you a lot of feedback, Ruth?
Yeah, we tend to call when somebody orders a suit.
Wow.
We would call to find out, make sure.
When you say we, it means you, not Mark, right?
Well, no, sometimes he calls too.
I like
He loves calling.
talking to
We
people.
love it because it's a family.
Yes.
Our customers are not just customers; they're our family. And Tina's certainly a good example of that. She's become family. We talk a lot. And then she wanted to help us more, and she connected us with you. So so that it's an interconnected family. And when we talked with our customers. We want to find out and make sure that we're getting them the right size. You know, measure twice, ship once. You know, and so, you know, the stories just show up, and we hear from people, you know, that they don't go out of business. My kid needs the next size. You know, all kinds of different stories like that.
Well, we're old school, basically. So everybody that orders a suit, we talk to them.
Wow. That's an amazing thing, and I love that, because, you know, we're so into this technology world where we text somebody or we email them, but we get a live phone call. That's an amazing bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, you know, customer service and the family and that community sense in your work.
Right.
Thưa quý vị, hôm nay Julie có thời gian rất là để bạn nói chuyện với Ruth and Mark. Ruth and Mark là hai người, trước nhất là Mark là người owner của cái Airtime Watertime, Ruth là Vice President. Hai người đây là hai người rất là thương mấy người mà là cái customer của họ. Không phải là họ chỉ mỗi lần mình order cái product đây là họ gửi cái email, họ gửi cái receipt cho mình, mà họ bắt điện thoại lên, họ gọi mình, họ make sure cái float suit đây nó đúng cho gia đình của mình. Mình thấy mình có cái feedback gì nhiều lúc á, Mark nói đó là gia đình kể chuyện là cái suốt đây làm rất là quan trọng cho gia đình. Thêm nữa, Ruth nói đó là lúc mà gia đình gọi họ Ruth nói thêm là mấy gia đình rất là vui, mà thiệt ra họ cũng sợ là đừng có đóng tiệm hay đừng có làm vậy, tại con họ rất là cần cái product đây. You know, I think that what you said was, you know, I love that you said that a lot of parents like, oh, please don't close your business and make sure you're still around. You know, during the pandemic, during this, you know, uncertainty in the economy, a lot of small business are struggling, right? And you know, parents are struggling, and I think during the pandemic, we're always finding ways for our kids to enjoy life again. And, you know, what can we do to help you stay in business, first of all, because this is a product that is not something that we wanted to just, you know, sell, but really to help families. Is there a way that parents can contact you if they have questions or want to learn more about this product?
Oh, absolutely. You can, you know, you can email me at info@airtimewatertime.com. You can go onto our website. There's also a form on there if you wanted to get in touch with us. Absolutely.
Okay. Now,
we're
Tina,
we're open.
Thank you so much. Now, Tina, what was your ordering process like when you went to the Ability Expo? Were you able to order there, or did you have to go home?
No,
what did you do?
They had the wetsuits right there.
Oh, they had wetsuits right there.
Hanging right there. I could eyeball, I could tell it would fit Peter and Kyle, and I think I bought two.
You bought two right then and there. Yes, you did.
You know, my concern is, you know, when I buy something online, sometimes I worry that it won't fit, that I have to return it, and, you know, going back and forth. Mark, what I love what you guys said is that, you know, we call to make sure it's a right size. We call to make sure that it works. For some people who still, like you said, old school, and want to try this on, if they're living in Orange County, is there a place that they can go to see some of these wetsuits?
We actually have a vendor, Ruth.
Yes, at scuba.com.
Okay.
In Costa Mesa. You can go
also,
there.
The shop is called scuba.com.
It's called scuba.com. They
They
have a storefront. I believe it's on Huntington Ave. I might have that wrong.
But it's in Costa Mesa.
It's in Costa Mesa.
Okay.
It's called scuba.com. And we have a slide that actually, a picture that shows their address and their phone number, and you can go there and try on the suits.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing that information. Hôm nay Julie nói chuyện với Airtime Watertime. Nếu quý vị thấy cái float suit đây rất là quan trọng, các em muốn thêm thông tin đó, là lên airtimewatertime.com. Chừng nào quý vị thấy đó mình phải muốn thấy touch cái wetsuit đây hay try on cái wetsuit, cũng có là scuba.com là một cái trung tâm mà có cái business ở Costa Mesa, quý vị tới tham dự cũng được. Sau phòng quảng cáo, chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với Airtime Watertime, với Tina Sen là người mẹ của Peter and Kyle. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. We're going to continue to talk about the Airtime Watertime wetsuit, but most importantly, our show today is to focus on water safety. We want to continue our conversation, Mark, about you mentioned the word fear buster. What does fear buster mean to you?
Well, instinctively, when we go in the water, you know, we try and keep our head above the water. So we're going to swim or do whatever. So some people can do that rather easily, and other people, it's a struggle. But now we have an equalizer. So now we have this suit that keeps your head about this level in the water. And like I said, like I was talking about in the other segment, it's like you're floating in space. So suddenly you have all the moving capability, and you're not sinking, and you're just floating there. And so suddenly fear evaporates. You know, it's such a just that feeling alone, to have fear evaporate and be, you know, you look for how much fun you can have now. Your life has changed. You know, you can, what do I want to do now that I'm free? It's that kind of thing.
Now, I know you brought a video for us to watch. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about this video?
Well, the video is about people that have experienced fear in the past, and they've had traumatic experiences in their life. And there's also another video of our dear friend. We have Bobby, who at the time of the video was a 6-year-old, severely autistic, nonverbal, and the water was his happy place.
Right.
And so,
but that might not be the happy place for Mom, because Mom has more fear.
Well, he jumps in the swimming pool regardless of the water temperature, so she was always kind of worried. But anyways.
And he taught himself how to swim using the suit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the first part of the video is about a woman who is in her mid-50s, who's wearing one of these.
Okay.
And she was afraid of, if she wasn't touching the bottom of the ocean, she was stiffening up, and then of course that made her sink even more. So it's a video talking about her experience, and then the second part of the video is little Bobby, who just learned how to swim using the suit.
Well, and there's another footnote for Donna, who's the gal who's 56 years old. We taught her how to swim in 7 seconds.
Wow.
So what we basically told her is, do like you've seen in the movies. Just start moving your arms, and you can see in the video she starts doing that, and she's swimming.
Wow.
So
well, thank you so much for sharing
swim.
this. Well, I hope you guys can take an opportunity to watch the video. This is 2 videos of an adult and another one of a child with autism.
My name is Pamela Lee. I'm 56 years old, and I've never learned how to swim.
I have been so afraid of the water, and I have truly given up on trying to learn how to swim.
By the end of my class, I was swimming like a pro.
Floating. I'm not panicking. I'm not sinking. I want to float, but I don't swim. However, you can make yourself move. Kick your feet. That's it. My name's Donna, and I'm in my mid-50s, and I've never been able to learn how to swim, because when I try, I panic, and then I stiffen up and I sink.
Is it different now?
Yeah.
Because of this suit, I no longer have to sit on the sidelines and watch my husband swim any longer. I can swim with him.
I'm Rhonda Taylor. We were looking for something to help protect him in the water, to give us peace of mind, and this suit worked beautifully. He has autism, and he doesn't always understand the dangers involved around water, and it's difficult to explain that to him because water is his happy place. He'd rather be in the pool than anywhere else on the planet. With this suit, we were able to just let him go, and of course, monitored, never unmonitored. We had that peace of mind that if he was jumping into the deep end, that he would be able to swim every single time. So we didn't have to worry about him getting in over his head. You know how anxious you can be when little ones are around the water. And he's actually really swimming now. This allows him to become more horizontal with the water rather than most of the other products at a vertical placement when you're in the water. It was more of an up and down kind of thing than the Airtime, Watertime suit, that he's able to really swim like you would swim. So it's given him that knowledge base to draw on, I think, and that freedom.
Now, Tina, we just showed the video of of an adult and another one of a child with autism who now no longer has the fear of the water. Now, what does that make you feel when you watch a video like that?
It just reminds me of Peter and Kyle's experience. It just reminds me of them learning how to swim, and me being fearful, and even being fearful after they've learned how to swim. But just having the floater was just, it really helped all the way around. And we still, when we go paddleboarding, when we go to the pool, we go to the beach, they wear it.
Okay.
Their dad wears it too.
Okay.
He boogie boards a lot with the boys, and he like fell into a bunch of really sharp rocks, and the suit actually took a lot of that and kind of saved him from getting, you know, cut up.
Wow.
So that really helped.
So I think what I'm hearing, Ruth, is that, you know, this suit is not just for someone who doesn't know how to swim, but also for someone who already knows how to swim. But, you know, when he's in the ocean with his 2 kids sometimes, right, Doug, the dad, he also wants that sense of security, you know, because if you have 2 kids that you might have to rescue, it might be hard. And I think that's so important to remind people that, you know, you can never be too safe. And I think to have that, you know, sense of security.
Well, the other thing is that you can swim twice as fast with half as much effort. You can stay out longer. I tend to get cold in the water, and I can stay out longer in the water. I can go snorkeling. I can just, if I get tired snorkeling, I can just lie on my back and just relax.
And it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 2 years old, or you could be 100 years old. You can still use the suit. There's no age limitation for us.
Wow, that's great. Because, you know, I think a lot of times when we look into our family safety, we don't always think of, oh, let's get a float suit when we're going to the ocean, or even going on a boat, right?
Right.
So I think that's something that we want to make sure that people know, is that this show is about talking about how do we address some of those fears? How do we get to enjoy life again? And, you know, instead of exerting so much energy, and where you can't enjoy the ocean or the waters, you're actually having a suit that allows you to enjoy it even more. And even a mom, you know, as a mom, you get to enjoy it more, because now your beach experience is not about just chasing your child, but you get to feel the sand, you get to see the waves, you get to maybe see the sunset again. So I think that's what I hear from you both, or all of you, is that, you know, this gives you a lot of freedom and also joy again in life.
And it feels like a second skin. Like after a while, you don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
And like Mark was saying, you just explore. You just are.
Oh, thank you again. Thưa quý vị, hôm nay mình nghe được from Mark and Ruth of Airtime Watertime. Cái float suit của Airtime Watertime là một cái suit, một cái product để giúp cho quý vị có cái sự an toàn lúc mà mình enjoy cái biển, hay đi bơi với gia đình trong mùa hè. Julie muốn nhấn mạnh là water safety rất là quan trọng, tại khoảng gần 4.000 người mất về chết đuối mỗi năm, đó là 10 người mất mỗi ngày. Thì Julie thấy đó là cái show hôm nay là không phải là nói về cái item đây, không phải là promote cái item, mà thiệt ra phải promote làm sao mình có nhiều cái thoải mái lúc mà mình sử dụng cái product, giống như cái wetsuit hoặc cái float suit hoặc cái life jacket, thì mình có rất cái nhiều option, mình có được cái sự chọn nhiều, mà làm sao mình nghĩ làm sao để cho mình có cái nhiều cái thoải mái. Cái suit đây á, Julie nghe đó, Ruth nói đó là mình bằng cái suit đây rất là thoải mái, là very comfortable, nó không có cỡm. Tina là một người mẹ có em tự kỷ, Tina cũng nói đó là cái suit đây á, làm cho cái sự an toàn là mấy em nó không có buckle ra, nó không có lấy ra lại được, phải không Tina? You know, I love that you're like, because you definitely understand Vietnamese, but you're not speaking Vietnamese, Tina. Tina là cũng một người là Việt Nam, mà Tina, tại Julie cũng nói là, bữa nay Tina lên đài hôm nay, mẹ của Tina có coi cái đài hôm nay, gia đình có coi không Tina, có không?
Có.
Okay, thank you. I got one Vietnamese word from her. One word. You know, because definitely that's the thing about it is, you know, a lot of times we don't talk about trauma as it relates to water, specifically for Vietnamese American like ourselves. We were refugees. We were on a boat, stranded. So a lot of Vietnamese Americans have that extreme fear from their generational trauma.
Right, you were saying.
And they don't address that.
Time to let go of it.
Right. And I think that's what you said. It brings peace.
Correct.
And that you can, for once, put on a suit and, yes, allow yourself to feel all those fear, but also realize that this is very peaceful, that there is nothing to be afraid of, Mark.
Lie on your back and do it at night and watch the stars.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Mark, Ruth, and Tina, for being here. If there's one thing that you would like to share with the audience, Mark, what would that be?
Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Time to be free. Time to explore yourself. Time to see what it feels like to have no fear, have confidence.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being on the show today. I hope our show is here to remind people to stay safe this summer, to enjoy, and time to let go and time to also embrace and enjoy. Thank you so much for being here today. Julie, một lần nữa cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV đã theo dõi chương trình hôm nay. Hôm nay chương trình nhấn mạnh về water safety, làm sao gia đình mình có an toàn lúc mà con mình đi bơi trong hồ hay đi ra ngoài biển. Chừng nào quý vị muốn hiểu thêm về Airtime Watertime là lên cái website một lần nữa là airtimewatertime.com. Chừng nào quý vị ở trong quận Cam là trong Southern California cũng có scuba.com, đó là một cái shop mà mình có tới mình được thấy cái wetsuit đây, cái float suit, xin lỗi, đó là làm sao mình có cái an toàn. Julie cũng cảm ơn quý vị theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội. Hẹn gặp lại tuần tới. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.